Hi guys, Nant here. Today I'm going to walk you through my poster. I'm going to talk about the global issues that I had chosen in my citizenship journey. First, I'd like to point out that my global issues is talking about sustainable designs and sustainable in architecture. So as the population increases, we demand more and therefore some more building required to be built. As the building development continues, we tend to ignore the fact that more and more emissions are being emitted into the atmosphere, and it just continues to rise. And if we don't find a way to stop it, the future generation is going to suffer. So, in the architecture field, as a designer, this is a big ongoing issues and a big topic for us, architect who is going to the fields. If you don't stop and pay attention to how we design and how to reduce or find a way to stop the emissions, the future generation is going to witness a different kind of environment. So this kind of problem is currently presenting, as we can see. Temperature is shifting. We don't even have that much snow this year due to you can call it like the global warming. Um, and there's the problem with crops and failure food productions, like people can't grow crops and stuff. And it's all due to this idea of, being sustainable, all these emissions being emitted and just causing all this weird shifting in the temperatures. So, hoping to solve this issue, I'd like to walk you through the global citizenship and my citizen journey after graduations. So in my post-Jefferson citizenship path, I will continue to work in Philadelphia. In Philadelphia, there's currently a construction boom. Here, I'm showing you one of this project I am currently working on in a neighborhood called Sargewood. It's pretty close to Center City, a neighborhood that is currently undergoing transformations. Um, so here I'm showing you one of my projects that I'm currently doing with my design class. Our goal here is to come up with a solution to minimize the problem of gentrifications, as well as designing affordable, sustainable income housings. So in one of the readings about gentrification in Philadelphia in the Hidden City website, it stated that many of these people who live here for generations are being displaced because they cannot afford to pay taxes as all these developers start building all these fancy houses in around the area. And many are forced to sell their homes for a cheaper price, even though they don't worth that much, even though it's only, let's say, worth like $100,000. These people have to sell it for $10,000 for these developers, and then they end up destroying the house, build a new house, and then sooner or later, all these new houses continue to grow in their place, and all these people are forced to move out. And our method to combat this problems is to get the community together, propose an affordable design housing solutions that will somehow get funded by the government. Currently, is a really hard um, proposement that not that many people is agreeing with because due to the funding situation, it's really hard for these people to get help by the government. Um, so my idea about citizenship is be able to help the surrounding people, use my talents and skills to improve the life of those in need, and also not just thinking about myself, but for the community, the people, the cities. Use my architecture talents or skills to be able to like provide for people, kind of like branch out. So later on, there will be more and more people who get helped by me going out there and branch out. So as I continue to walk down my post Jeffersonship path, I hope to design more and more sustainable housings and decrease the emission that is being released in the atmosphere. It is a really hard topic to kind of get straightforward on because not that many people follows the sort of theme of sustainable buildings like people. So moving to the global citizenship path, as you can see in this chart, building operation and building material represent a huge chunk of being responsible for the CO2 emissions. In order to minimize these issues, other sectors such as transportation and industry, they all need to act in as one. In one of the readings, it explained that buildings generate the most emission due to power being generated in power plants and due to the construction process. So in order to stop this problem, we need to be completely off grid. So in order to be completely off grid, we had to design something called the regenerable energy usage strategies. Take this for example. This building that we designed in our studios, we are using the electric completely off grid. We are using electric through solar panels, which will power this whole entire buildings instead of using it from power plants. And same thing from this image, it is showing that we should use green energy that is generated through the solar panels. And here's another example, and it could be done in skyscraper as well. This is the building in Singapore. So it is one of the popular green building that is currently out there. What it's trying to do is putting green trees on the facade to filter the bad air, in addition to being sort of hybrid, using collected solar energy and also some from the power plants. As for now, there's no possible solution for skyscraper to be completely off grid. So in my global citizenship path, I hope to sort of examine, all this sustainable current emission that is going around the globe, and hoping there's a way to like minimize it. So in order to truly be sustainable, we all have to pay attention to the planet, also the profit and the people. Also, all three of these categories have sort of to work together to be able to become sustainable. Um, so overall, thank you for watching.